Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabine, and in today's video it's all about how to get your SP or specific person back. I will explain to you where we usually go wrong, what to do instead, and how to do it. I'll give you a shortcut to help you manifest your SP back at the end of the video as well. But before I get into it, please don't forget to subscribe if you like videos on manifesting what you want in your life. And if you'd like to practice all the different shortcuts and new techniques I am sharing with you that have worked 100% for me in the past and still do. Okay, let's start with the typical examples of what we're tempted to do, myself included, until I learned my lesson and decided to follow the manifestation process. On the doing level, we are tempted to call, text, look for spells, try technique after technique, ask around for advice. On a being level, which is feeling and thinking, we might feel guilty and regret something such as a conversation. We might feel angry and frustrated as we resent their attitude of non-interacting with us. We might feel rejected or unworthy simply because one person appears to not be loving us anymore. And the more you analyze your feelings and emotions, the more you keep thinking, okay, now how can I make this happen? What can I do to start manifesting my SP back? The first thing you need to do is to stop this negative loop, and I'll show you why and how. This type of low vibration is a human reaction that is detrimental to manifest what we want, which in this case is being with our SP again. This is not to say that you need to try and refrain from having those emotions of anger, guilt, frustration, quite the opposite in fact. The very first thing you need to do is actually to let all those emotions be expressed. The reason being that when you fear that feeling that way would keep manifesting the opposite of what you want, without realizing it, you are confirming that type of energy. Your fear of seeing the same patterns getting repeated is a self-prophecy. I call it the heavy baggage. Picture it as if it was a bag of emotions, and you're physically putting in that bag all the emotions that you're trying to avoid feeling or that you're feeling. For instance, sadness, guilt, shame, anger, whatever you feel. When you try to calm yourself down without communicating with your emotions, you are trapping them and leaving them in the bag of emotions, the heavy luggage. From that set point, as you try to get back with your SP or specific person, you are carrying the heavy luggage around like the plague. Obviously, as you can imagine, this is not the healthiest way to manifest easily. It is in some cases if your set point is not too low. For instance, if you think highly of yourself, that self-image alone will trump the temporary heaviness you are feeling right now. But if your self-image is not waterproof, or better said, situational proof, in that case, I would highly recommend a purge of emotions. What is a purge of emotions? It is the way you communicate with your emotions and handle them in such a way that the outcome always turns in your favor. Having good communication skills implies excellent listening skills and being emotionally aware, among other things. By listening, acknowledging and nurturing your emotions, you are parenting your inner child and reassuring your inner child that it's okay to have a surge of feelings when something bad happens. It is not because you are an adult that you cannot be nurtured and reassured. The only thing is, this has to come from you and not from your caretakers as when you were a child. Honoring your emotions and reassuring your inner child will guarantee your success in your manifestations. Because an emotion is like a small child wanting attention and reassurance. Being an adult doesn't make our emotions any less important. I repeat that one. Being an adult doesn't make our emotions any less important. Once you have expressed your emotions and you feel better, then you can focus on what you want to manifest. Ideally, you should focus on you, but if you're watching this video, I would be fooling myself if I were to think that telling you this would be sufficient. I know that you are after resolution, so I have prepared a shortcut for you. As always, please test it. Remember, a technique is not the key to your happiness. It is only a tool to help you achieve a certain state of being, but ultimately manifesting is purely expansion. Anyway, this is my shortcut for today. It's a good one that I use really often. It's called dealing with a bag of emotions. This is to be used before any intentional manifestation. At least this is the way I am using it. Also, you need to be clear with yourself that once you start dealing with a bag of emotions, each emotion will have your full attention. So make sure that you allocate a good few minutes for that. Agree with yourself that when this shortcut or technique is completed, the bag will be empty and that you are 100% guaranteed to manifest your desire. Even if you don't see it in 1 second, that activity alone will have given you the power to activate correctly your desire no matter what. This is how I use it to put less pressure on me and not to ask myself any questions around the process and outcome. That way I let go more easily. Okay, so let's start. On a piece of paper, you're going to draw a large bag. It can be whatever form you want. It can be big, it can be small. It's your bag. If you feel very upset, for instance, make it big. If you feel a little upset, make it small. At the top of the bag, you write, "My current temporary situation makes me feel." And then you add all your emotions and feelings. For instance, you say angry, but then you add because. So for instance, my current temporary situation makes me feel angry because of what my SP said around this and that. Sad because da 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 da. Once you're finished with the list, thank every emotion for showing up in the bag and ask them, every single one of them, if they have expressed themselves enough. Do this for every emotion you wrote down. This is what I do. It might seem a bit childish, but this is my way to communicate efficiently. So I would ask, for instance, anger, have you expressed yourself enough? If I feel yes, I thank anger and I cross its name. You also ask sadness and the other emotions. Let's say that sadness still needs to be reassured. You ask sadness how she would like to be expressed. Maybe it's through crying. If so, you cry to show sadness that you're dealing with her and nurturing her. After crying, ask sadness if she feels better. Sadness should be okay to have been listened to and connected with. Sadness is now okay to leave the bag too. After the bag of emotions is empty, reward yourself by focusing on your manifestation. You are now manifesting from a clean slate and your new set point is neutral. Be convinced that you are now getting closer and closer to experiencing your desire and get on with your day feeling light-hearted. I find that this shortcut is good for someone like me who is sensitive, who has roller coaster emotions, who had low self-esteem, who was over-analytical and thought about a million things at a time. The effects this had on me was very powerful and is still very powerful. I now feel very composed, more empowered and more in the flow. I thank you for watching this video, but it would make my day if you were to try it for yourself. Please comment down below. I communicate with my emotions and that makes me a powerful manifester. I communicate with my emotions and that makes me a powerful manifester. As always, remember that I have designed an online course for you where I give you a step-by-step guide on how you can manifest by creating your own rules. I share with you all my tips and I update the course regularly. As I want as many as possible to take advantage of this, it is below $100. Right now, it's even below $30 for a few more days. The link is in the description box down below. Okay, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and till next time, happy manifesting.